What is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talking about? In 2000, and it's happened several other times, congressmen used congressional power to force CDC to release secret documents to them. And then several congressmen who have brain-damaged children and grandchildren released it, even though they weren't supposed to. This was classified. And it was the heads of the CDC and the scientists saying, I wouldn't give it to my grandchildren or my kids. We've brain-damaged millions. And they say, well, we got to continue it. We can't admit that we know this does this or we'll all go to prison. Now, they then, when that all came out in 2002, the documents were from 2000, but it took 2 years for it to come out. It was even on ABC Nightly News. Since then, they've lied and said the mercury was taken out. Ladies and gentlemen, under federal regulations, vaccine makers are supposed to, they don't always do this, make a small amount of non-mercury vaccines. So that's all that happens. Yes, are there vaccines without mercury? Can the news hold up an insert of a vaccine that might be 1% of that type of vaccine that's out there? It's even less than that in the studies I've seen. Can you, if you're Andrea Merkel of Germany or Gordon Brown of England or Barack Obama and his daughters of USA, can you get one that doesn't have mercury? Yes. Can you go to an office and order it? If you know what to ask for, they can order it. You can come back a week later and be shot up with it. It's still got the cancer viruses. It's still got the RNA. It's still got the aluminum. It's still all these foreign, because it's not just the viruses they're breeding up on caterpillar eggs and baby retinas and dog kidneys or monkey kidneys. That's the main things they use. Even most of the vaccine you hear about that's grown on eggs, the original virus for the original sample, the seed stock, is grown in tissue. And then it's brought over and put in eggs. But it's growing the same thing. You know, I mean, if I grow squash plants in a greenhouse and then take those plant seeds out of the greenhouse and go plant them out in the field or up against a fence row next year, it's the same squash. You understand that? It's the same watermelons. It's the same blueberries. It's the same thing. It's just their children, but the exact same genetics. And they know this. They know this. They know this. And everyone is waking up now. Literally, the vast majority, over 70% in U.S. polls, think it's bad and don't want it. But the media goes out and interviews 20, 30, 40, 50 people till they find the one person that will say they like it, and they put them on the news. That's who they put on the news. That's who they push. And let me give you the news flash. 4 years ago, the Associated Press told the truth and reported, and the article said, we don't know why, that all the major vaccine makers for hepatitis, for flu, for MMR, increased mercury. They didn't just put it back in. They increased it, not one-fold, not double, not triple, not quadruple, 5 times what the mercury was before. So before, it was 400 times the safe level of mercury in a average 1-year round of shots for a 5-year-old. 400 times for their body weight. It's not quite as bad with an adult. Just like a big guy can drink more beer and not get drunk. But for a child, imagine a newborn baby given 3 shots at birth. Then 6 months later, 5 more shots. Then when they're 18 months, more shots. So I see these fake studies by the media, and they're always deceptive. 5 minutes, you can prove they're a lie. But when study shows kids are still getting autism, even though mercury's out of the shots. But then you go read the study. The study was done with regular vaccines. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, they lie, and 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 they lie. But the good news here is, on the Federal Reserve, or on vaccines, or on the war, or on warrantless wiretapping, or the police state, in every poll, the majority, way over 70%, are against all this. We're the people. This is our country. You can't make us do all this. So the good news is The momentum's shifting. So the establishment is firing everything they've got at us in an attempt to make us capitulate. And it's not going to work. The police aren't bad. Most of the FBI people aren't bad. Most of them are investigating bank robberies and kidnappings. It's that higher-up group that are bad. Most people in banking aren't bad. They're just giving you a home loan. It's the big bankers up at the top. Most people in Congress aren't bad. They're just corrupt and whores and competitive, so they sell out to be in power. We have to get the message out about how bad this is if we continue along this line.